Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. I am the official herbal therapist, and I appreciate you tuning in for this another episode of Lunchtime Conversations. Before I start, once again, I'd like to just reach out to all the veterans and tell them happy belated Veterans Day. Appreciate everything you did for our country. For us, our freedom and the work and sacrifice that you put for people like myself to come up and do what I do right now. So I appreciate your services a whole lot, and I hope y'all had a great Veterans Day yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I did have the honor and privilege of actually being off on Veterans Day because of course that's what it is. So yeah, so I just hope and pray that y'all had a really good Veteran Day as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this particular topic today. I see somebody jumped in. Who's it? Oh, that's Rush. Salute, Rush. Welcome, bro. Welcome. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this topic today. To be honest with y'all, I was just gonna kind of take it easy today and just don't go live at all today. But this particular topic, I really want to talk to y'all about because I believe that it's also very important as well for us to have this conversation about this. All right. Part of the work that I do is that I do work which is known as spiritual work. You could call me a spiritual worker, okay? So basically what a spiritual worker does is that we have the ability to analyze certain spiritual situation or certain type of spiritual warfare that goes on, right, in one's life. And we have the ability to spiritually evaluate what's going on. And we have the ability to also to not only evaluate that, but to provide solutions to help that person who's dealing with any type of spiritual warfare. In this situation, about the topic I'm talking about right now, and I'm basically talking about spiritual warfare. All right. I noticed that. I noticed that sometimes we will have situations that arise in our life, and it end up becoming as a little fire, right? This situation will arise in our life, and it becomes like a little fire. Sometimes what we do, we won't even pay attention to it, and we'll just do our own thing. But when we do things like that, that little fire can manifest into something even greater if you're not taming the fire, if you're not doing what it takes to take care of the fire. Then eventually that one little thing blows up into this huge thing, and it becomes this huge flame. Then finally you look and see like, oh my God, this huge flame is arising in my life, and I need to take action. I need to do things I need to do to put the fire out. But unfortunately, you start doing these certain things to get the fire out. You do these things to try to push to get rid of the fire. But every action that you take, it makes the fire worse. Every time you do a certain thing, it makes the fire work, and it blows out of proportion. This is similar to what the firefighters of our nation deals with every single day with raging fires. That this little fire could start off as something small as someone camping, and they just simply forgot to put out the flame completely, or put out the fire or the campfire completely. Instead of doing the due diligence to put the fire out completely, they do certain little things and thinking that it's okay and just move on about their life, not knowing that it's still a little spark there that's going to cause the fire to spark up even more. Then it's going to flame up and it's going to rage. And these are the certain things that firefighters do, especially in the West, like in California stuff. When California be having wildfires and stuff, it starts out something small, then it gets bigger, bigger, bigger. Then it be hard to contain. One thing I do respect about our firefighters is that they have the professional skills and ability to know how to deal with the fire and know how to put the fire out the best way of ability possible. Sometimes it may take it may take the same day for them to do it, depending on the level of the fire and the severity of it. Sometimes it probably take months for them to finally achieve the goal, but nevertheless, they have the skills and ability to tame the flame or to put out the flame. Today, in this lunchtime conversation topic, I want to share with y'all about these different fires that are raging, that possibly is raging in your life. I want to reveal to y'all that these certain little sparks could turn into something real major in your life. And then it comes to the point where you're doing these different things, or you may be doing your due diligence to put out the fire, but now it's getting beyond your control, and now you're in a state of panic and confusion. You're upset because now you started to lose certain things as well. In this case, in the spiritual sense, you may be losing your spiritual identity because of this flame is so big. You may be losing your very connection or reality itself, believing that since the flames are so big that this is your current reality, this is your current quote unquote hell that you're dealing with. So you start to lose your reality, you start to lose yourself spiritually, and the physical part about it as well, where you did everything possible. You're doing every technique that you can do to try to put out the flames, right? But now you're getting tired, you're getting exhausted, you're frustrated and mad because through your choice and through your decisions, you're the one who caused the fire to start in your life to begin with. So now you're mad and frustrated. You don't know what to do, or any of these type of things, right? So what I want to share with y'all today, I'm gonna want to share with y'all through my professional expertise with dealing with spiritual warfare. I'm gonna share with y'all there's some ways how you can finally put out the flames in your life. One of the obvious things how you could put the flame out of your life is to first recognize that in situations like this, especially dealing with things that are spiritual or spiritual warfare, where people is coming at you, they're attacking you for different angles. They're attacking everything about you, your character, everything and stuff, right? Then you just want to constantly quote unquote retaliate the best way you can, but it seems like even when you do it, it's just not working. It is making it worse. So one of the things that you do have to recognize is that you cannot fight this fight by yourself. You cannot do it, because this particular thing, it has been raging for so long that you do not have the will or the professional ability to fight it by yourself. So of course you're going to need outside resources, and you're going to need outside help to help you. This is where me and many other people who are spiritual workers come into play, where we know how to strategically deal with certain spiritual situations the way how we know how to deal with it. Now, why you want to mention this on Urban? Why are you talking about this? The reason why I'm talking about this is because even as being a spiritual worker, I had encountered many levels of fires. I encountered many levels of flames, and by me having the ability to deal with them, I know how to deal with each level of flames or each level of fires, dealing with individual lives. I know how to deal with that. But every time when I do the work, this always happens all the time. It ain't nothing personal about it, but whenever I deal with that, and I always have the person who's they'll come back to me, whatever, and they'll say things like, well, Urban, why you didn't deal with this particular angle, or why you didn't do this particular angle with the situation, or why you didn't say this certain thing to this certain situation, why you ain't doing this, why are you responding to this situation this way? What I want to respond to y'all is this. Me being a spiritual worker, my eyes see the whole bigger picture about situations that arise in one's life. I don't see this one track situation, or as you can say, I don't see just tunnel vision. Or you could put it this way, I don't, quote unquote, take a certain favoritism or take a certain side of a situation that's big. Let me give you an example. If the fire is burning throughout the whole forest, right? Well, would it be wise for me just to deal with one portion of the forest, or would it be wise for me to deal with the whole entire forest, the whole entire problem? And this is how the way I see it. And this is how the way that professional firefighters see it as well. They see the whole entire problem in its entirety. So they do their best to dispatch out different teams, right, to deal with the whole entire problem all together. Which they'll have teams they're on the ground that go and they use different type of hose or chemicals to spray the fire to tame it down. They have a ground team that do that. They have an aerial team as well that goes and spray out either chemicals or water depending on the nature of the fire. They have this aerial team to go out and spray the whole entire area one step at a time, pushing until the whole entire forest has been tamed. And they also have what is known as a rescue team as well that comes in and assess the situation and see if any persons that's been affected by the fire, they come out, they dispatch the rescue team, and the rescue team job for one purpose for them go in and rescue people who's been affected by the fire, so affected by the flames. So there's different levels to this. But within all these different levels, they all have one goal in mind, which is to tame the flames, which is to put out the overall end game, which is the flames. And this is similar to what spiritual workers such as myself does. We go out on different levels depending on the situation is, and we fix the area, or we apply what is needed to help resolve the areas on different levels. This is why whenever I have a conversation with anyone and stuff, right? This is why I always remain in a neutral stance, because in this situation I'm trying to understand what's the threat. I'm not just going in gung ho and just spraying stuff without understanding what's going on. So it's advisable for me to first understand what's going on, what's causing the situation through all points of view. Then once when I understand and assess it, then that's when we start dealing with the issue. We start attacking it and start assessing what would be the solution of the issue that's arising, even spiritually. And this is what our spiritual worker does. Our spiritual workers, we don't quote unquote take sides of a situation. We don't do none of that. All we do is assess and share our perspective about it and share solutions about it. Then at the end, it becomes a choice whether you want to do the work or not. Then if you do want to do the work, then we could go in and we could go through the process of healing any type of situation that happens. That's what we do as spiritual workers. But you have to be willing to want the work to happen. But if you're not willing to do the work, then to be honest, there's nothing we really can do about it. Because at that point, at that particular point, you're making a choice. You're honestly making a choice. when I think about when I think about this, I think about the I think about God, or Most High God, or the Creator, or whoever whoever y'all want to refer to him as. And I think about this, and I honestly could relate to God, because there's certain situations that we deal with in life, and we'll pray to God about it, right? And then when God finally responds to the situation, it don't be the necessary response that we're looking for. Instead, it'd be like, well, God, you didn't respond to the situation how I wanted you to respond to it. Now I'm upset at you because you're not responding to the situation that I want you to respond. How dare you, God? Do you not understand that I'm hurting in the situation? Do you not understand that I'm getting burnt by these flames, and you responded to it in this particular way instead of the way that I want you to respond to it? And I could, like I say, I can relate to that now, and I can understand that now. Now everybody's not saying that he's God or anything like that, or he's holier than thou in a person, because I'm not. But I can relate to that. I really understand from that particular perspective, because sometimes when you see the bigger picture about certain situations that are in your life, and you see the bigger picture and you see the end result, you know what the solution could be, and you throw it out there and you recommend the solution, and then you end up refusing to see it, like, no, I'm not gonna do it that way. I want to do it my way. Then what else God can do about that? Because keep in mind, if y'all believe about all this, keep in mind that we all have free will. You can do whatever you want to do, whatever decision you make. It's your choice and it's your life to make that decision, right? So likewise, even the same thing as being a brother to you and stuff. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is put the solution out there. I can assess the problem in a situation, and I could provide a solution for it, the best possible results possible. Because even obviously, like I stated earlier, with the fire and the flames, right? You probably did everything possible to try to tame that fire, tame that flame, and it just didn't work. Some of you probably use a fire extinguisher and it didn't work. Some of y'all try to attack the fire with salt. It didn't work. Some of y'all try to use water to tame the fire. It didn't work. So you did all these different things that you feel that you should do in order for it to work for you. And so now you're seeking resolution from an outside source, or even an outside source see the fire far away, like, dang, they in distress. I need to come and help them. And so they see what's going on and see a different perspective about, like, hey, maybe you don't need to use water on this. Maybe you need to use a chemical balance or whatever it is, H2O or whatever, and that's what's going to help put it out. But instead of accepting that, it'd be like, no, I ain't going to do that. I'm just going to continue to put salt on it, and I'm continuing to put salt on it because I feel like that it's eventually going to work when you know it's not working, and it is making it worse and worse and worse. It is making the situation worse than what it is. I want to share with y'all a dream that I had last night too, and it's still dealing with this topic too. But I just feel that I need to share this dream with y'all, right? And y'all could take this dream for whatever it is. You can interpret it however you want to interpret it, all right? But let me share this dream with y'all, okay? I had a dream last night that me and there was a lot of people were on a train, right? And we was all headed to a certain destination. All of us was headed to a certain destination. Now, in my dream, I knew that in my mind in my dream, I knew that the destination was going to be a short destination. I knew it was going to be a short destination where we all travel to on this train. So I was sitting in my seat just chilling, and I'm just looking out the train window, just admiring the scenery and stuff. Right, not even paying attention to nothing that's going on. Right, but meanwhile, other passengers on the train start getting mad. They start getting frustrated. They start bickering. Then eventually they start fighting between each other stuff, right? Because they was getting mad because they haven't arrived to the destination that they was promised to get to. So they start fighting and fussing each other, doing all this different thing. While all this was going on, I'm still chilling in my seat, by myself, in my seat, looking at the train, just admiring the scenery and stuff like that, and just content. Because once again, in my mind, I knew that we were supposed to be getting to a destination, but it just wasn't bothering me because I knew that at the end of the day, we're going to get to our final destination. That's what I knew, and that's how I felt. So the passengers, they fighting and fussing, they arguing and going back and forth, and making the situation way worse than what it need to be and stuff, right? So finally, one of the passengers walked up and approached to me in my seat and pushed me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, do you not know what's going on here? We all mad and frustrated, blah, blah, and all this stuff there, and you ain't doing nothing about it." And so I look, right? And I look, and I just look on puzzled because once again, in my mind, I know that we're going to get to the destination where we need to be at. And in my mind, I'm thinking that all it takes is just patience for us to get there. We're going to get there, but just be patient, and we're going to get there. But once when the passenger pushed me, it started even going off on me like blah, 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 and all this stuff there. I looked and stuff. I looked at him, and I was about to get ready to respond to him, but the moment when I respond to him, guess what happened? All of a sudden, there was a crash. It was a boom. And what up happening was that the train ended up derailing before we even made it to our destination. The cars derailing and everything. It was boom, boom, boom. And the train ended up derailing. And all of us ended up being on derailed from this train. All of us. So they like say y'all can interpret that dream however way you want to interpret it. But I'm gonna give you my perspective about that dream. My personal perspective about that dream is that when we dealing with certain situations where we feel like that we need to be at a certain place in life and it doesn't happen the way that we want to happen, it causes frustrations, it causes confusion, it causes all these different things, different human emotions to happen. Then on top of that, there always be that one person that's also going to the same destination as well, who instead of assessing the situation, that person is just looking off and worrying about their own personal space, instead of paying attention to what's really going on. So therefore, my interpretation is that we have to not only figure out the solution to wherever that is that's going on, or wherever destination that we're trying to get to in our life. We have to figure out the solution to that situation. We have to figure it out. Especially if you know that you have the ability to come up with a solution, which I believe in this situation, that was my particular role, is that even though I'm listening to what's going on, I just wasn't paying attention to it because It didn't matter to me because I'm in my own personal space. I'm in my own personal world. So if I know and have the ability to help come up with a solution, then it's up to me to provide that solution. Then also it's up to me to provide that certain level of accountability. So of course, in a situation, there are certain all levels of different type of accountability that was happening in that situation, including with myself as well. But sometimes, even with us, sometimes we'll be so caught up into our own personal space when it hits the fan, end up being disruptive. You end up being derailed, and no one make it to the destination, to where they're trying to get to. So this is why that it is very vital and it's very important for us to understand the fires in our life that we're dealing with. This is important for us to also understand that if you know that these fires is happening in your life and you don't do nothing about it, then you're gonna be burnt just as everybody else is burnt, because you know it, but you decide to do nothing about it. Even if by you doing something about it, you'll get burnt in the process. Do y'all not know and understand that even firefighters get burnt from fires, and they're professional with it, and they know what to do, but yet it's still they deal with some type of injury with dealing with fires. Well, if they get burnt about it, sometimes they'll make a certain move, end up getting inhaled by the smoke. Do y'all not understand that? But the whole point about it is that they're doing something about it. So I'm encouraging you, my brothers and my sisters who are listening to me right now. If you know that there are fires that are burning in your life, what are you doing about it? And if by you doing something about it, are the solutions help putting the fire out of your life, or it's causing it to be worse? And if you're now at that point understanding that it is making it worse, that's when it's time for you to seek outside solutions to help you, because you cannot do it alone. You cannot do it alone. And this even with me personally. Whenever I have fires that burning in, even in my personal life, I know now that I have to seek certain outside help or certain outside resources to help assist me. I'm not going to do it by myself. I understand that. The reason why I understand that is because when I was dealing with fires in my life, I got burnt, I got scorched, and everything. Until I came to the conclusion that, hey, I cannot deal with this by myself because I don't know how to put this fire out. Maybe I need help. And this is something coming from a man. Because sometimes even as men, we always be having to deal with our pride, and we always have to deal with our egos. And so I learned to put my pride and my ego aside and actually seek for necessary help to help put the fire out of certain situations in my life. And it's still like this, even still to this day. And this is the reason why Urban can talk to y'all on this level, because that very resource that I reached out to and helped me, they taught me how to deal with certain fires. They taught me how to deal with certain situations that arise in my life. They taught me how to do that. So I can professionally come and give you the same type of resources as well. I could come and give you the same resources as well. Then even if the resources that I could provide to you is not efficient enough, I now understand that I can always go to another source for help. I know that. So likewise, even with the situation that y'all dealing with in your life, certain fires that you deal with your life, do you not know that you could go to certain resources and these certain people, they're out there and they can literally help you, literally change your life, put out that fire, and get you on the course to where you're destined to be, which is you being in your divine purpose in your life. Do y'all understand that? I'm gonna share with y'all one more thing, then I'll be done with this particular topic. I also had learned this when I was telling y'all earlier about sometimes people will talk to you and they'll get upset because they want you to deal with a certain situation because they want you to deal with it their way. I want to share with y'all that even if you were to deal with the situation their particular way, or how the way they interpreted that you should deal with it, right? Do you not understand that all it is causing the fire to be worse? That is causing not only that person to be burned even worse, but now you're becoming a victim. Now you're becoming a victim. Now you're getting burned because you decide to, hey, I'm just going to take this one stance of this problem. Since this is how the way you saying it should be, I'm going to take this stance and that's how it's going to be. Now you're the victim. Now you're being burned. And to top it off, the fire is still there. And now one last thing too, y'all. One last thing too. Even as being a even as being a spiritual worker, we take on so much criticism because we share certain things to people. And sometimes and just to be realistic about it, sometimes people don't be on that level of understanding or that level of enlightenment. And so we choose our words very carefully about how the way we say things. Because we understand that even the words that we speak, it could fuel the fire. It could fuel the flames. It could cause destruction. So this is why, personally, me, Urban, personally, this is why y'all may notice that I may hesitate or stumble on certain words, or sometimes the things that I say, it may come off as gibberish. There's a method to that. The reason why I do that is not because I have like a speech impairment or anything like that, which in all honesty is just my southern accent that people don't understand unless you southern. But the reason why I do that is because I choose my words very carefully. I'm constantly thinking before I speak. I don't just say whatever it is that's on my mind. because I know that the powers of my word could either be a blessing to people or it could be destruction to people. So that's why I'm very, very careful about my words, and I choose my words very carefully. I'm constantly thinking about it. And I be strategic about what I say and how the way I say it. And this doesn't make me weak or anything like that. That makes me a person who's on a level of maturity where I understand that. This, many of y'all who are Christians, right? I know y'all can relate to this. This is no different from in the Bible when they're talking about bridle your tongue. This is no different from the Islam belief when they tell you to tame your tongue or to be careful what you speak. Even in our African proverbs and different things like that, same thing. Where you be very careful about the certain things that you speak, especially when you're on the level as being a spiritual worker. You be very careful about certain things you say and speak, because it has the ability to either help uplift people or it can be destructive and tear people down. So this is why I'm real careful. But however, even though I'm careful about it, right, I also learned that since I'm on this level, it is my responsibility as being your brother keeper and also being on this level of each one, teach one, that it's my responsibility to at least tell you in a way where I'm not turning you down. I'm not discouraging you. I see the problem, what it is, and give you the solution about it. And then it's on your ball court to either proceed how the way you want to deal with it. I won't be upset with you or anything like that. However way you want to deal with it, that's how way you deal with it. I won't be upset. I won't be mad. I won't look down on you, nothing like that. But however, if that fire or whatever it is that you're dealing with is so big where I know that it could personally affect me as well, then even as a spirit, even as a spiritual advisor and stuff, right? I had to learn when to disengage. That's for my own safety. No different from a firefighter, because there be some fires that firefighters, if they get so bad that sometimes they just have to disengage for a moment. They just have to disengage from it for a moment and leave it where it is. And that's the reality of it. So the solution to dealing with these flames or fires that you're dealing with in your life is, first of all, recognize that there is a flame in your life that's causing you negative anguish. It's affecting you spiritually, it's affecting you mentally, and it affects you physically as well. You have to recognize that. That's the first part. The second part is that if you don't have the skills and ability to deal with it, then by all means seek professional help to help you deal with it, to help you cope it. And this help is through spiritual advice, professional advice if you deal with anything mentally. I always seek professional advice, which is, with therapy or anything like that. That's the second part of it. And don't never try to deal with these fires by yourself, because all you're going to do is get burned. It is not only going to affect you, it's going to affect the people around you. It is going to keep spreading and keep spreading until it get out of control. And that's saying, you dealing with fires for years and decades and all this different thing, and it's still going. And now this fire is becoming a spiritual curse. Now this fire is affecting your generation, your seed, your legacy. So I appreciate everyone tuning in today. And I hope that that on the things that I share with y'all that it will help uplift you. Then also give you a level of understanding as well. But before I go, let me go ahead and acknowledge everyone who's in the chat right now, and real quick, and we'll be done. I already acknowledged Rush, but I acknowledge him again. What's up, bro? Appreciate you tuning in. We got Miss Joy Chit Chat. Miss Joy, I appreciate you tuning in as well. We got Miss Genesis. I hope I said your name correct. If not, I apologize. I appreciate you tuning in as well, and you're sharing your perspective in the chat as well. Who else we got? Louise Vuitton. That I think that may be Monica, but I appreciate you tuning in as well. We got my boy PMP. Appreciate you tuning in as well too, my friend. Appreciate that. Got the people lounge in the house too. I appreciate that. I appreciate you tuning in. Who else got? Oh, got Booze. Hey, what's up with it? Appreciate you tuning in as well. Appreciate that. Appreciate it a whole lot. And anybody else? Oh, Miss Patrice. Hey, Miss Patrice. Hey, welcome. Miss Patrice, she's actually she's actually from this other content creator named Uncle Stu. Ain't that right? Uncle Stu. And I did go onto your page, Miss Patrice, and viewed your video too, by the way. And I seen it. So, but yeah, I appreciate you tuning in as well. I appreciate you tuning in. We got Life in the house as well. Yes, I appreciate you tuning in. Let me see who else we got. I think that's it. If I miss anyone, my apologies, but I also appreciate y'all tuning in as well too. So y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Make your weekend be as productive as possible. Or if you need to get much needed rest, go ahead and get that much needed rest as possible. But always within that, make sure that you're always spending time with your loved ones, whether it's family, friends, or whoever that may be in your immediate circle as well. We got Mad. He just pop out the bushes. What's up, bro? What's up? But yeah, take that time, that much needed time for the rest and the relaxation that you need if you're able to do that. But more importantly, I always take a moment to spend times with family and loved ones and different things like that, because you just never know. You'll never know, especially how things is going right now. All right. So once again, I appreciate y'all tuning in today, and I hope that the things that I'm sharing with y'all, it gives y'all a different perspective, and it also will be able to help y'all to cope with certain situations that you're dealing with in your life, and help you to evolve into the level where you need to go, and therefore you're walking in your divine purpose. All right. So y'all continue to fight fate with faith, and I will see y'all again. Peace.